Just a few weeks ago, I hit my 10th anniversary of learning Japanese. And over these past 10 years, I've managed to study nearly every single day. And I went from knowing no Japanese to passing the JLPT N2 in 2.5 years, passing the JLPT N1 in just under 4 years, getting a full-time job with the exact company that I started my learning with, and moving to Japan. And now I've been living here for almost 5 years. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what a single day in my studies looks like from start to finish. And I'm also going to share as many tips as I can. I really believe that a lot of these tips were absolutely essential to getting me where I am today. So let's just get right into it. So just to start, I kind of organized my studies based on 3 levels. So level 1 is what I absolutely need to do. So one of the things when I first started my studies is redefined myself as the person who studies Japanese every day. So instead of relying on like motivation, like, am I going to study today? Am I not going to study today? No. I study Japanese every day, and I always have something that I need to do, even now 10 years in. Right now for me, that's a minimum of 5 flashcards on my study resource, which we'll get to in just 1 second. And then after that, we have the second level, which is the things that I would really like to do. So that's like finishing my flashcards, getting into native materials, which are books, games, anime, anything in Japanese that's not designed specifically for learners. And then number 3 are the things that I would like to do, but I probably don't have time to do them every day. So the purpose of these 3 levels is to make sure I show up. If I try to hit all these 3 things, and I'll categorize them as we go, but if I try to hit all of them in one day, every day, it's not possible. It's just not. And that's okay. So let's start with level 1 with the things that I need to do. And that is 5 reviews in Native Shark. So Native Shark, that's the company that I began my learning with. And just as a quick side note, I do help work on Native Shark. So I work on the project. This is sponsored by them. So it's 5 reviews, and I'm going to pretend like it's my first 5 reviews and I'm rushing. And this is the minimum of what I need to do to show up to Japanese, because it's the habit that's important. So I'm going to press study now, and we're just going to do 5.
皮膚はただれ、花があるはずの場所は穴が開いている。でもリゾートホテルだったら観光しないでホテルでぐうたらもいいよね。イルカの親子が水しぶきを上げて泳いでいる。4月20日、卵が孵化してオタマジャクシになった。皮膚は黒く、肉球を除く全身が透明の体毛に覆われている。
Okay, so that's it. There, that was the number 1. I need to do that every day. I try not to make too many days like this, but you just need to have the habit. And that got me 5 high quality sentences into my brain with some audio. And now I'm going to do what I would really like to do. And today I have a lot of reviews because I was in Tokyo. There's a couple layers of how motivated I am on the day and how much brain power I have on the day. So let's just go through the level 2, what my maximum brain power day is. So here we go.
ちゃんとかき回さないからだよ。
ちゃんとかき回さないからだよ。
ちゃんとかき... See, I'm not...I need practice with my speaking. ちゃんとかき回さないからだよ。ちゃんとかき回さないからだよ。
ちゃんとかき回さないからだよ。
ちゃんとかき回さないからだよ。So I listen, I speak, I listen again, try to see, is my intonation on point? It's not going to be perfect. It's okay. But I try to make it at least better every time I do it. And that adds up. That's kind of the whole point, is just make it a little bit better every time you try it. I'll just hit okay on that. I always hit the smiley face because the reviews, I'm just going to see them again. It's whatever. As long as you get enough exposure, you're fine. It's not really anything you need to worry about. So here we go with second one.
組み立て不要ですぐに使えます。
組み立て不要ですぐに使えます。
組み立て不要ですぐに使えます。Is it すぐに or すぐに？すぐに。
組み立て不要ですぐに使えます。
組み立て不要ですぐに使えます。Sounds good.
現行犯以外での逮捕が難しい犯罪の一つに、盗撮が挙げられる。
現行犯以外での逮捕が難しい犯罪の一つに、盗撮が挙げられる。
This one's tough. 現行犯以外での逮捕が難しい犯罪の一つに、盗撮が挙げられる。
現行犯以外での逮捕が難しい犯罪の一つに、盗撮が挙げられる。土手沿いの草むらにいっぱいいるよ。
土手沿いの草むらにいっぱいいるよ。
土手沿いの草むらにいっぱいいるよ。The context, you're informing your dad where you can catch grasshoppers. Hey, I used to do that in middle school. Alright. 土手沿いの草むらにいっぱいいるよ。
土手沿いの草むらにいっぱいいるよ。
土手沿いの草むらにいっぱいいるよ。I'm happy with that. That's fine. So I would do that. Honestly, even when I have a lot of brain power, I probably only do like 3 sentences of actually repeating things because it's just kind of, I always feel like I should do it more, but If you ask me, there are two types of study days. There's the days where you study and the days where you don't study. For me, even if I do 3 of these and then call it a day, I'm happy. But yeah, that's about what I do for my maximum brain power, high brain power thing. Here's my medium brain power. I'm not repeating. Maybe I'll mumble it a little bit. I just listen to both audios and I move on.
私が子供の頃は、怪我をしたら消毒するのが当たり前でしたが、この常識はとっくの昔に覆っています。
I'm just kidding. I don't listen to the female audio. I just listen to male audio and move on. It takes like 3 seconds per card or however long. And you can need both. Maybe do half and half. Close your eyes, listen. There's all sorts of strategies and everything's good. Just show up. Hit study now button.
腕もげそう。リチャードさんは宗教ビザで宣教師として日本に来ました。ピカチュウ !10 万ボルトだ
Notice how I'm looking away? Because I want listening practice.
アキオは良くも悪くも物事をあまり深く考えないたちだ。最後のインフィニティストーンをガントレットにはめ込む時のサノス。ノコノコの甲羅にカビみたいなの生えてる。
ノコノコ甲羅にカビみたいなの生えてる。ノコノコ
知る人ぞ知るお店だったのに、ちょっと残念。
知る人ぞ
知るお店だったのに、ちょっと残念。
知る人ぞ知るお店だったのに、ちょっと残念。知る人ぞ知るお店。
知る人ぞ知るお店だったのに、ちょっと残念。
知る人ぞ知るお店だったのに、ちょっと残念。Oh, here's another thing is when you're doing your studies, right now I'm in my office studio, so it's not as comfy. Normally, you want to be comfy, and for me, I do it every day, and I'm drinking tea. It's hot tea. I have some cold brew tea here, and just vibing. Just enjoy your time.
手に負えなくなる前に、なんとかしないと。
And then sometimes there are days where there's too many flashcards. I don't do this too often. This is super low effort, but I'll just get through them really fast. So it's going to look something like this. And I'm skim reading these.
同じ。
Yeah, so I skim read those and then it's fine. Whatever. Study days and no study days. Those are the 2 types of study days. So now I would press the study now. Normally it would be a lesson. Oh, here, I'll show you the lesson. So normally this is what would happen if you press study now. You get this lesson. I already read all this.
お父さん特製、適当の極み弁当。
That's a good sentence, by the way.
雲の上でこのクオリティの寿司が食べられるなんて贅沢の極みです。
Normally, then there would be the thing to get to the kanji, and then you'd get into vocab from here. Here's the vocab for today. So here's how I would normally do vocab.
うずらの卵のさ、茹でてあるのがパックに入ってるやつわかる？発射まで2分ほどお待ちください。
発射まで2分ほどお待ちください。
発射まで2分ほどお待ちください。
2年前と比べるとおよそ3倍だ。
2年前と比べるとおよそ3倍だ。
Oh, by the way, you might also have noticed here, I'm not listening to the female audio that much. I used to actually listen to the male and the female audio every time I did a new unit, and I was just kind of not doing that many units. It was always such this big pile of effort that I didn't want to do. Right now, what works best for me is go through it pretty fast.
その後、宣教師として渡ったブラジルで、同じ使命を持つジェシカと出会った。睡眠時間が3時間未満の日が1ヶ月続いた。
きつそう。And then, this is just seeing the cards again.
分ほどお待ちください。睡眠時間が3時間未満の日が1ヶ月続いた。企業は人件費の安い国に工場を置く。2年前と比べるとおよそ3倍だ。
There's the dialogue at the end, so let's take a listen to this.
みかんってでかければでかいほどうまいじゃん？
え
そこ笑うとこ？
いや、いきなりすぎるし、常識みたいに言うから笑っちゃった。
だってそうだろ？
そうかな。まあそういうことでいいや。どうぞ続けて。
Yeah, and then you can hit the translation and all that. So that's my core studies per se, is do native strike reviews and then see if I can get into a new unit and then doing native materials. So I'd make sure I interact with Japanese in the wild in some other way. I started this really, really early in my studies. I actually started with Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and どうぶつの森, so Animal Crossing on the 3DS. It was really difficult, but it was really fun. So just do something that's really fun for you. For me, recently, I've been playing just a bunch of video games, and native materials are absolutely essential, honestly, to learning Japanese. They're good for getting sentences that are actually at least native. Recently, I've been playing Pokemon Emerald. It's been a lot of fun. I'm not a huge fan of recommending Pokemon to beginners. I think the early ones are tough, actually, because it's kana only. People think that's a good thing. It's not a good thing. It doesn't help you learn kanji. It keeps you scared of kanji for longer and longer and longer, and it's just not Just don't do it. And kanji have so much meaning, so especially when you have almost no grasp on the language, you see all these characters and you're like, where is the word? And in this, you'll see like they have spaces and stuff, right? But you still don't know the kanji for the word. So when you look it up, you're gonna see like a billion results, and then all those results have a billion definitions. It's not good. So I'm doing this. So I did Alpha Sapphire originally, and I'm pretty sure I put the kanji on. I think that's why it took so long, especially in the beginning. And that's why also Do bu tsu no mori was kind of easier for me to do, because it had furigana as well, which are those little kana above the kanji that tell you how to read it. So you have the meaning of the kanji, which helps you get to the actual what the sentence probably means much sooner, because you have the actual, you're 100% sure it's at least this word. You don't know what definition maybe, but it's this word. And then from there, as you get more comfortable, it's not like a bad thing to do a kana only game, but I would just avoid doing it as the only game you do. And then, you know, beyond that, I'll watch a bunch of shows or whatever. I'll read frieren. And just have a lot of fun with it. So I've read all the 14 novels out right now. Here's the memories and stuff. And it's just so much fun. So I'll spend, often when I'm really, really hooked on a manga, I'll spend at least like 30 minutes sitting down and reading it all. You can put sentences in your vocab decks or whatever if you want. But like, honestly, at least if you're doing Native Shark has all of the core things that you need to do. Just press study now with. So honestly, that's your main thing, and then you just come out and practice with these. And the more you do of a single resource, if you read 14 volumes of frieren, you're gonna be very familiar with all this vocab, because it's gonna keep popping up. You're gonna have it remembered pretty well the third time you look it up. So if you keep seeing it, look it up, do what you want with all the vocab. And if you only see it once, is it important to learn? You're gonna learn something new all the time. I mean, everyone's gonna miss something. You're always gonna be filling in some sort of gap. It's not really a big deal. I used to think it was much bigger of a deal than it really is, at least looking back now. So the other thing that I will do is I'll play Pokemon Arceus recently. I've been playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. I don't love recommending Pokemon, especially in the main games. The people talk so much. You can't play the game. One good thing about having a game is you get to relax your brain while you play. But Pokemon, especially if you're near the beginner level, you're going to be doing it for hours of just only trying to read the dialogue. So I wouldn't try to read the dialogue too much, or I'd play one that at least you know what's going on already. So this is Pokemon and frieren and whatever anime you like or whatever books you like, all these games you like. To me, this is core studies still. You are learning in your study resources, and you are reviewing and reinforcing, and also a little bit learning in your extra native materials in your games and all that stuff. This is included in my daily study stuff. I would definitely do this as much as possible. And the good thing about this is you can do it for a lot longer than learning resource studies. And then for books and stuff, there's this book that I really like. This one is pretty difficult for me, so I will have to kind of sit there with the dictionary and really go through it. So let's just open to a random one. Hafko is interesting. Actually, I learned some cool stuff in this one. So I get just knowledge about Japan written in a short format, so you just get the overview of everything. Doing at least one of these things is in the level 2, where it's really, really want to be doing these. But I wouldn't say you have to do all of them every day. Just pick one and it's fine. Some sort of media in Japanese, not meant for learners. So, and then we get into level 3, which is the would be nice territory. That is maybe doing more of this, maybe going past an hour. You got to set the schedule to how works best for you. So I'll sometimes actually do a journal where I'm speaking to the camera, and it's a little tough. And sometimes I'll have people look at it, and sometimes I won't. It doesn't really matter that much. I mean, you can do either way, but doing it, study or not study, right? But for me recently, I've actually learned about certain ways to write kana and stuff. There's this thing called hane and harai. It's really interesting. And so I bought a book. I bought this Pokemon hiragana katakana book and on how to write them. And it comes with stickers. So for tomeru, you kind of have to stop your pencil, it's tomeru, right? You stop. Versus harau, you have to kind of flick off almost. And then there's another one, it's hane. So for hiragana ka, you have haneru. That's the real flick, I guess. Writing isn't something you need to do, but I have fun with it, so I do it. And then when I don't have fun with it, I don't do it. So definitely do not recommend doing this to learn things, but I would recommend doing it if you want to make your writing prettier. Do people need to make their writing prettier? No. Pretty much no. Basically never. Yeah, no. You don't need to learn writing to learn Japanese. And I can tell you this because I've barely paid attention to it and I've been studying for 10 years. I live my life in Japan. I can go to the kuyakusho. I can go to just wherever. I can go to the doctors. I've gotten like COVID shots here and stuff. I can live my life here and I don't really write. The only thing you need to know how to write is your name and then maybe your address, or just put it in your phone. Just copy it. It's fine. I do enjoy this right now, so I am doing it. The real reason I want to learn how to do that is I actually went when I was on vacation in Takeo. I went to a Buddhist temple and did shakyo. And I learned about haneru and tomeru. And because I'm like, why does my kanji that I'm writing, why does it not look really good like everyone else's? And that was the reason. Everyone knows that you just do that. That's what's drilled into your brain right from the get-go when you're being raised in Japanese school. So I was really curious about that. I wanted to learn more about it. So I got this. I'm doing it because it's fun. Having fun with your studies is the way that you make it to 10 years. You know, if you're studying for, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours, or however long, unrealistic for your schedule, it's just going to be so hard. And it's just, you're not going to want to show up. And then when you don't want to show up, you're not going to show up eventually. Instead of just trying to always catch up, just take it easy, you know? And one last thing I forgot to mention for level 3 is I actually also do custom flashcards and shadow loops. So looking at them, let's do custom flashcards first. So I have a few decks in here. Recently, I've just started the phase 2 and phase 3 dialogue decks. So let's just click on a phase 3 one.
ママなんでジージのことをお父さんって呼ぶの？
だってジージ、ママのお父さんだもん。
ママってジージの子供なの？
そうだよ。ジージとバーバの子供だよ。
40歳なのに子供なの？
そうだよ。かけるも、ずーっとママの子供だよ。
おばあちゃんになっても？
そうだよ。
So I'll just listen through these, and they're really great examples of just natural spoken conversations, and honestly, that's what I need practice with the most. So next we have shadow loops. So I will also actually do these when I'm working out as well, and it's actually a lot easier because they just play instead of me needing to come back and click. So if I don't feel like doing reviews and don't feel like clicking on everything, I can just listen to shadow loops. So usually I'll shuffle them, and this is my custom deck, but there's pre-made decks and all that stuff too.
遠くから来ただけの甲斐がありました。遠くから来ただけの甲斐がありました。
This is the kind of thing where it's nice to do when I have the extra brain power, not necessity for me. If I want to get some extra review in or some extra practice, I'll use them. Anyway, back to the video. So that's really a day in my studies. Some amount of Native Shark, as much as I can do. Sometimes it's only reviews. Sometimes it's 5 reviews a day. And then I do native materials. And then I just repeat the process. And I do that by being the person who studies Japanese every day. So sometimes you just gotta do 5 flashcards. Or you miss days. And that's okay too. What is one day in 3,750? Right? Just show up, try to be a little bit better, try to get a little bit more Japanese in your brain, try to solidify things, and then do it again the next day, and then do that again the next day, and then the next day, and then suddenly it's been 10 years and you're fine. Would I recommend you do exactly what I do? No, because your goals probably aren't the exact same as mine. But if you do find something that's helpful, definitely take it and go with it. At the end of the day, there are 3 things you need to learn Japanese. You need 1, a quality, comprehensive learning material or learning resource, and Native Shark is one of those. And then number 2, you need native materials, which are your games and your anime and your books and all that. And then 3 is patience and consistency. It's going to take longer than you probably want it to. And even for me, 10 years in, I still wish I was better at speaking, but I'm just still working on it. And that's just what the journey is. And I just try to do my best to make it fun. I've written tons of guides on the Native Shark Help website, which I'll also put in the description, help.nativeshark.com. I talk about all the things you need to learn Japanese. Like we have an essentials guide, and we have a guide for studying for the JLPT, and we have a guide on how to learn with native materials, and so many mindset articles and things like that. And then you can also check out the other videos on my channel, also to go over that a lot too. Feel free to take what works for you and incorporate it into your studies. And then if you want just a nice, simple, easy method, go check out Native Shark, link in the description. And just press study now and then go have fun. So thanks for watching and good luck with your studies.
この番組はフューチャーラーニングメソッドネイティブシャークがお送りしました。